Hey guys, what's up? Sakhir here. Today we are here with the Bahrain Grand Prix in career mode. We're on the same difficulty as last time, but this lap was a lot nicer than the one we did in China. 6th position. The first two sectors I was only 1/10 off pole position. Last sector I lost a mighty 7/10 of a second, I think it was. Not sure, I don't think it can tell you times here, but yeah, lost a lot of time in that final sector, so I think that's somewhere I can improve on in this race. But overall, the difficulty feels quite a lot better now. I'm right up there with Massa, and hopefully I can get a good start. Hopefully jump a couple of people. If I get a really good start, I might be able to jump up into the lead and start holding some cars back. That's my aim, at least, just to get into the lead. I probably still won't win it, but I just want to make sure that I can get a better position than last time. I think it was it 8th in China, I think it was. But I'm recording this on pretty much straight after that last episode, so yeah, so I can't really read the comments obviously because the video isn't uploaded yet, but I'm going to leave it on this difficulty for this one, and I'll just see where the comments are, hopefully for the next episode. I don't know, it depends when I'm going to record these, because I want to record as many as possible to make sure I got the videos up on time, because I know I normally get the videos up a little bit late, career mode. I always seem to forget, and so yeah, that's unfortunate. But anyway, we've got a decent start here, up alongside Webber. There's Massa there, and we've got to be very careful with this, because we can cause an accident here if we're not very careful. Cars running wide. Where are we going to go? We've got a good run through there. Mark Webber, I think Morsberg's there, so we want to make sure we cover him off, but we also want to just make sure we got the position. Oh, Hamilton, nearly contact with Hamilton there. Let's run it in fast fuel mixture. Let's try and keep up with these guys until I get my curves next time round. First sector I think I'm actually pretty good at. Second sector I'm alright at. That's just a typical Bahrain lunge. And then third sector I'm not very good at, so I'm going to have to try and keep in his slipstream. But I completely messed that up. Just went way too... Actually, yeah, I suppose I didn't do too badly through there. I lost a bit of time on the exit because I just completely messed up the entrance, but overall that's not too bad. But this is the part of the track where I am bad at. Maybe it's just a trait, the Ferrari, that it's not very good through this last sector. I get caught on the curb. No, that's not what I want to happen. But if I can get curves and I'm in with sort of within that second, I might be able to have a chance at getting him back down the straight or somewhere. But so far the start of this race has gone so much better than that last one. I mean, we still gained time and positions in that last race, but it wasn't as good as this one. We're not actually sort of legitimately trying to fight for the front, and looks like we're going to have a good slipstream here. A little bit of, actually not really a good slipstream, but enough of a slipstream. And let's just use a bit of the curves, about a quarter of it, about a third of it more like, and look at that, the straight line speed is just a lot better, and we can dive it down the inside and tuck into the apex, and position done. There we go. Run a bit wide in the apex, nearly going into the gravel, but luckily I didn't. Right, now I can save fuel. I don't need to be running in fast fuel mixture. I just want to be saving this position. I just want to be defending, and I want to pit in on my pit lap, which is lap 6. And I want to make sure that this race is safe, and hopefully I can bring home a podium result here. Obviously I'm in the lead here. I expect somebody to get past me at some point, but I want to make sure that I've got fuel for the end of the race if something happens. So as I said, I'm recording this a little bit in advance. I think this is going up on Monday, so I might talk about something in this episode, and it might not be in real life, like some of the things might have happened or whatever, because I'm going to be talking about who's going to be filling up the remaining seats in Formula 1 for next year. Now, I like doing this. I like talking about this. Not many people do. Oh, Hamilton makes contact with us there. Hamilton sent us sideways. We nearly went into a spin there. Hamilton was being very aggressive, and now he's hit the back of me, and Hamilton spun it, and now he's took out Vettel. Hamilton hit the back of me there. He was taking way more, what am I trying to say? He's taking so much more speed than me there. I'm not really too sure whose fault it was. Probably mine. But you can leave a comment down below about whose fault that was. But honestly, I did not see Hamilton coming on the attack, but I heard him smash into the back of me. I saw him got really sideways, and I saw him take out Sebastian Vettel from, I think, 3rd or 4th position. So what a crazy sort of bit there. But I'm sure somebody's going to say, you suck as a driver, that was 100% your fault. But I am trying to really improve my driving. Sometimes the AI do some random things, I think that might have been a bit of a random thing from Hamilton. He took a lot more speed than I expected through there, and he just sort of smashed into the back of me. Not really a place you'd overtake in real life. I don't think you've ever really seen an overtake through there in real life, so I don't know. It's a bit of an iffy one there, but I'm sorry about that if that was my fault. But I'm really not intending to do anything like that. I'm not that sort of driver to cause accidents, and that was 100% unintentional. So Felipe Massa now up into 4th position. Wow, this is going to be crazy race. Let's see what happens now. I don't even know where Sebastian Vettel is. Let's have a look. So he he didn't do too badly. He rejoined in 13th, so he'll probably still end up getting points if you're supporting Vettel in this career mode. That's just a quick update for you guys. But as I said, I was going to be talking about who's... Oh my, that was a bad line through there. Who's going to be filling the remaining seats in Formula 1 for next year. And as I said, it might be out of date by the time this video gets uploaded. But as I'm recording this, there's still 2 Caterham seats available, 1 Mauritius seat, and I think technically still 1 seat for Sauber, because Sorokin would be driving if he got a super license, but I don't think he's got given his super license yet, and I don't think he's going to be given one in time, so he's most likely going to be resigned to being a test driver for 2014. Look at that, Rosberg's got the pace in a straight line even before he gets the DRS, and but luckily we can just about hopefully grab the advantage down the inside. And now curves it away, curves it away, curves it away. Ooh, Webber really being feisty there, and it's like three-way fight for the lead now. We'll come back over to the racing line, stop it and turn it in. This is a really enjoyable battle actually. I'm really happy I left it on this difficulty, as it does seem to be about right now. It might have actually just been China, to be perfectly honest. I think China has never been a really good track for me on this game. I always just seem to be quite bad at it. Ben, the guy I'm doing the co-op career with, is actually really good at it. So, you know, in the career mode, he did a good job at co-op career mode. If you haven't seen that one, you really want to check it out. That was a really good race. I wasn't very good, but it was a really good race. He stormed to a very good, I think, 2nd position. So I just spoiled it for you if you didn't watch it. So sorry about that. It's just this corner. That is the corner that is ruining my lap time here. Webber. Oh, some close racing here. I did sort of squeeze him out there, but I was trying to steer as much as possible. But all of this is bringing the other guys back into the party, and they might be going for manoeuvre soon. But this is a really fun race. I really want to pick up a win here, especially on the harder difficulty. And looks like Massa has made his way up into P3. Webber probably going to grab DRS. I think he was in the zone before that corner. I think I got quite a good run out of there, but it's just that one corner towards the end of the lap that is completely destroying me. I don't know why I'm doing so bad at it, but I think for China they picked the wrong tyres. I think they picked too softer compound, and in this game it just didn't really work. It doesn't really work out. You know, it's the sort of track where I'd expect in a 25% race to do 2 stops, but somehow Australia, I think, is the only track where you do 2 stops in career mode on 25%. It's really confusing. I don't really know why, but that is the case, so we'll just have to stick with it. But now we've got a little bit, 0.8 of a second to Webber. I reckon we can defend him off before our pit stops here. But what I was going to talk about in this video was who's going to be filling those remaining seats. I sort of went off a bit in the last couple of laps. But anyway, let's start off by talking about the other Sauber seat. Obviously, Adrian Sutil has got the first Sauber seat. He'll probably be their #1 driver. I can't really see another driver coming in being their #1 driver. So I expect Sutil will be the one in the team that's got the experience, and I expect there to be a sort of a rookie, as I said in my previous episode, to be alongside him, or somebody in like their 2nd year, for example, like Gutierrez or Van der Gaard. Now, I want it to be Gutierrez. I'll plain say that. I think Gutierrez deserves another year in that car. He was actually really unlucky. I think people just sort of didn't like him. They didn't really give him the light of day, but he did some amazing performances, and he was just super unlucky at certain times. And well, actually it was a really unlucky year for him. He just sort of got involved in accidents that weren't really his fault. I think except China, where he just like completely wiped out Sutil. But apart from that, he hasn't really done anything that stupid. The commentators sort of pick on him a bit. I think they sort of say, "Oh, look, he's weaving about all over the place." But I think that's the thing with British media. They like to sort of pick on the drivers if they're like doing something against the British drivers, for example, which, you know, I don't really like that. I personally would rather have the American F1 show. I mean, with what's his name? I can't remember now. Will Buxton. I think he's the best commentator around. I don't know who their sort of co-commentator is, but Will Buxton is the best commentator, I think, for like Formula 1 GP2, and I really wish that we could get that in the UK, because I personally think Sky and BBC are really, neither of them are very good. I only have Sky just to watch the races live, and you know, I think it's worth it just to see the races live. I mean, I'm a massive Formula 1 fan, so obviously I would. So, you know, I really wish that we had Will Buxton, you know, presenting some of the British stuff. I honestly think soon that they'll probably kick out Martin Brundle. I think that, you know, Martin Brundle just doesn't work with David Croft, I don't think. Some people think he does. I don't see it. I don't think it really works. I think they don't really bounce off each other very well. Like when Brundle and Coulthard did it, I think that was pretty good because they're good mates. They knew each other, but I don't think, you know, Brundle and Croft don't really bounce off each other very well, and neither does Coulthard and Ben Edwards. Even though I would say Coulthard and Ben Edwards is probably a bit better than the Sky commentary. So, to be honest, the only reason I have Sky is obviously because I want to watch the races live. I don't think it's the best commentary team. I would honestly prefer Anthony Davidson and David Croft. I think they bounce off each other a lot better. Now, if you don't want to bounce off each other, that's a bit of a weird term, but it's like once one says something, they can come back and maybe, you know, make a joke out of it or something. But, you know, with Croft and Brundle, it all seems a little bit too serious. You know, the rest of the Sky show's, you know, trying to be relaxed and, you know, funny, and then the commentary team isn't really that funny, except from practice sessions when it is Croft and Davidson. That's really entertaining. I really enjoy that. Or even when it's Croft and Shandok, you know, I just think, you know, Martin Brundle, no offence to him, because I think he's a really good sort of pundit, if you know what I mean. You know, he sort of worked well with Jake Humphrey, but I don't think he works very well as a commentator at Sky. It just doesn't really seem to fit him. But I also think that he thinks he knows everything about Formula 1 and modern Formula 1 when he isn't. I don't think he's driven a Formula 1 car since he's raced a Formula 1 car since the mid 90s. So, you know, someone like Davidson that's driven a modern day Formula 1 car in 2007 and 8 and 6, you know, I think he works a lot better. And someone like Chandok, who drove in 2010 with HRT, in 2011 with Team Lotus, you know, I just think they work a lot better because they sort of know a bit more about the sport than Martin Brundle does. I know Martin Brundle is very good with, you know, he's very good with Formula 1, but modern day Formula 1, I'm not sure whether he understands it as well as someone maybe like Chandok or like Davidson. But that's my personal opinion. I think David Croft would be better with somebody else, but we'll see what they do. I don't think they'd ever get rid of Brundle just because I think they paid a lot of money to get him into Sky. But yeah, that's my personal opinion. And I don't know how I ended up on this topic after talking about Sauber and their second driver, but yeah, that was many laps ago. So Gutierrez is my first bet about who's going to be getting that spot. I reckon it's going to be him or Van der Gaard. They seem to be the two big players at the moment with quite a bit of money. Van der Gaard has a lot of sponsorship from Netherlands, and obviously Gutierrez has a lot of money from Mexico, and Sauber need money. Let's not forget this. That's the reason they got Sorokin in the first place, was to bring in a huge amount of money. I think like a huge amount more than Maldonado brings in from PDVSA. So it's a huge amount of money that Sorokin was going to bring into Sauber, and I don't think it was ever officially released, but it was going to like save the team, which is, you know, what they were really needing. So we'll see. I think Sorokin's going to end up as a test driver for the 2014 season. I actually hope he does. I hope he does that. Hope he coincides that with a Formula Renault 3.5 campaign. Hopefully he can get like a top 3 in the championship or something. And that would really balance out quite well. I mean, because Formula Renault 3.5 seems to be the series to be at in the moment. I mean, a lot of the drivers are being picked out from there. Let's just take a few examples. Antonio Felix da Costa was going to get a Toro Rosso seat more likely than not, but he got picked by Kvyat, who had an amazing GP3 campaign. And you know, I've been thinking about it. Kvyat probably did he deserves a chance. I mean, if you win GP3 by the amount he did at the end of the season, he was demolishing everyone in the last 3 rounds of the season. No one could even keep up with him. He was just so fast. So I think it was, I'm an Antonio Felix da Costa fan, so I don't want to say it was the right choice, but it was a good choice. If they didn't pick da Costa, I think that was their second best choice in my opinion. I think da Costa was the right time for him. I think maybe Kvyat could have done a season with maybe Russian time or something in GP2, won that championship, then replaced Verne. That might have been the way to go. I think it is Verne's last year in the sport, to be perfectly honest. I think he's probably going to be beaten by Kvyat, and that's not going to be good for him. He's going to feel pretty bad about that, I think, because Kvyat's rocket fast. I think he probably is the next Vettel. He's done amazing in Junior Series, Kvyat. And I reckon, he did a practice session, was up there in 7th, so it was crazy. So, Sauber, I don't know how I keep talking about this for so long, but I reckon Sauber will probably employ Gutierrez or Van der Gaard. Who knows, they might pick Lima. If they do, I'll be very happy. It'd be good to see Lima in the sport, especially, because he deserves it, because he hasn't had a fair chance in a Formula 1 car as of yet. So it'd be nice to see him given the chance, but it's unlikely, because I don't think he really has that much sponsorship money. He might end up in one of the back teams, but I don't really know. Webber sets a good old lap time there. Anyway, so the next team I want to move on to would be Marussia. They've got 1 spare seat. Now, who would they pick? Now, they've got quite a bit of sponsorship money from Rodolfo Gonzalez being their test driver. They got PDVSA sponsoring them from that. So I reckon they could possibly continue that partnership with PDVSA and maybe promote Gonzalez to a race drive. I don't really know. I've nothing against Gonzalez, but he isn't a very fast driver, and I don't think he would really do very well, especially against Bianchi. He would look really bad. I mean, if you think Chilton looked bad, Gonzalez in the practice sessions he's done is over 2 seconds slower than Chilton, so Gonzalez might not even get into the 107% times at certain races, so I'm not sure that's Marussia's best bet. Gonzalez, I think he's a great guy, he's a really funny guy. It's nice to see him in the sport because he brings quite a lot of fans from Venezuela, which is just good to have as many fans as possible, but I don't think he's their best bet for a good shot. He's got a lot of money, yes. I don't think he's their best shot if they want to try and succeed and move forward. Marussia, I think Marussia's best bet is to stay with Max Chilton. Even though Max Chilton has sort of hinted and his sponsors have hinted he may be moving elsewhere, which could mean Sauber. I know people will hate me for saying that, but he could end up at Sauber here, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he did. It might work out actually quite well for Sutton if Chilton does get that seat, because with all due respect to Chilton, Sutton is a better driver than Chilton, but we'll see. Actually, Chilton could actually come on strong. We don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, that's going to be fun to see how Chilton does if he is in a better car. But I reckon that Marussia will probably have Chilton. I really hope someone picks up something like Razzia or Valzecchi if they can just have any chance of getting into Formula 1. That would be great. The 2012 GP2 champion and vice champion definitely deserve a chance. Razzia was given a chance and it was taken away by sponsors just giving up on him, I think, which was really sad to see. Modern day Formula 1 sucks in terms of that. So that's that. I'll put it down to the standard fuel mix before we get into minus fuel territory. So Sauber, I'll say Gutierrez. Marussia, I'll say Chilton, and then we got 2 Caterham seats. Now, it has been rumoured in recent days that, and weeks I suppose, that Gutierrez has visited the Caterham factory. Now, Caterham need money, Gutierrez has money, yes, but I've put him aside. I've put him into the Sauber seat in my invisible mind. Invisible doesn't make any sense. Into my invisible grid. So we'll put Gutierrez there at Sauber. We'll put Chilton at Marussia. So 2 Caterham seats. I'll say Van der Gaard is probably the best one, the best bet. He brings in quite a bit of money. I don't know what Webber is trying to achieve by trying to drive around the outside of me there. Hamilton set a good lap time there, but what I was talking about, Van der Garde, I think he'll probably still end up Caterham. I've said it so many times, I think he's better than Peak, so we'll just leave it there. And a teammate, so Caterham have said that they want an experienced driver, but they, you know, the guy from, I think I talked about this in my Australian race, I think I did, that Cyril from Caterham saying that, you know, it's a driver's responsibility to bring some sort of sponsorship to the team, so we might not see Kovalainen partnering Van der Garde. We could see someone like Petrov get a seat again, and I'd really like to see that actually. I honestly think that Petrov got a lot of slack for being a bad driver, but at the end of the day he secured 10th for Caterham in the championship. When it really mattered, he outperformed Kovalainen by a huge amount, so I think Petrov and Van der Garde would be a good mix, because they both bring in a good amount of money, they're both fast drivers. I think that would be a good bet for Caterham if they want to move forward with an experienced driver and a driver that can win. You know, both of them I think have won races in GP2 or World Series by Renault, so they're both very fast drivers, so I think that would be in my lineup. So I'm probably wrong with the Petrov thing, I doubt that, you know, they're really considering him, but as I said, I would like to see it. But let's run through that again for anyone that is a bit confused. Sauber, I'll put Gutierrez. Marussia, I'll put Chilton. Then in Caterham, I'll put Van der Garde and Petrov. But if I go this more realistically, this is what I'd go with. I'll go with Chilton at Sauber. I'll go with Marussia. I don't know now. Probably someone from GP2, I'd say at Marussia. And then at Caterham, I would say Van der Garde and Kovalainen. That's who I'd say. No, so at Caterham I'd say, I'd say Kovalainen and Gutierrez. That's probably a more realistic one. Just to, you know, put all the news facts into place. That's probably what's a bit more realistic. But let me know who you think is going to fill these seats. As I said at the start of the video, it might even be that when this video goes up that there's been a driver announcement. If that's the case, I'm very sorry. And if there is a driver announcement, I can see if I'm right. So, yeah, I hope it is Gutierrez at Sauber and Caterham having Van der Garde and Petrov, and also Marussia picking up Chilton. I think that's what I would like to see. Whether it's the most realistic thing, I doubt that. But I would like to see it. I think it might be the best thing for everyone. It does sadly mean I think there's nobody from GP2 making their way up, so yeah, but I reckon Sam Bird will probably go for the championship, or try and go for the championship in GP2 with Russian time, is what I expect. And we'll see what happens though. It's going to be a fun season, lots of rule changes, people are dissing the engine. I reckon it's going to be alright. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. A huge amount about the sound. Obviously it's lovely to hear a amazingly high revving V8 or a V10 or even a V12. It's lovely to hear that. Whether it's really necessary for good racing, no, it's not really necessary for good racing. And it's the same with Formula E. A lot of people are sort of dissing that. I don't even know whether dissing is probably a bit of a slang word there. Basically means sort of like making fun of. It's probably the best way about saying that. So yeah, people making fun of Formula E, but I think it actually might end up being quite a good series. They're trying to get some Formula 1 stars in there, so we could see some very fast drives in Formula E. I think Degrassi's in there. I mean, we could even see someone like James Collado go to there for a year or something, whilst Force India work out what they want to do with Perez. Maybe they keep him for another year, I don't know. I mean, if they keep Perez for more than 1 year, Collado might be out of a seat with Force India. As of yet, Force India, every single time they have had a reserve driver, they have made it into Formula 1, racing for Force India, I think. Oh, except from Bianchi, but he went on to race with Marussia. So every Force India test driver has ended up racing at some point, so that's good for Collado. But it might be not very good for him if everything doesn't fall into place and certain people don't get out of the sport when maybe they should. So wow, what a crazy race. I talked about so much stuff in there. I think that might be one of my best commentaries to date. I think the Chinese race was a little bit down because I wasn't doing very well, but that was a fun race. I got the win. from 6th place on the grid. Not really holding up people. I mean, my lap time wasn't really, there. But, my lap time was with people like Grosjean, Perez. It was that sort of pace. So I'm happy with that. I think that's a pretty legitimate result. And I think we'll stay on this difficulty for the rest of the season. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We extend our championship lead to now 24 points over Sebastian Vettel. That's probably down to the contact we had at the start, but still only the top 6 teams scoring points. Force India, Williams, Toro Rosso, and Marussia and Caterham. None of them have scored points. That's interesting to see. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down in the comment section. Yeah, but it's Alex and I'm out here. Goodbye. Hi guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video. It is much appreciated. If you have any comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below, and hopefully I'll respond to as many as possible. If you want to check out GT Omega, there is also a link down in the description. Also some sales on recently, as it is Christmas time, so if you want to grab a bargain there, it might be one down in the description. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching. It's been Alex and I'm out of here. Goodbye.